up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new video. This is a tight turn right here, man. I'm trying not to rub my trailer tires on those concrete blocks there, and I think I got it. Okay, now that we're out of that situation, what are we going to talk about today? I have a unusual delivery. Unusual in that it's 3:15 and I just got loaded. We got to drive all night. This is going to be overnight. I'm leaving the Shreveport area of Louisiana and driving to the Florida Panhandle in a town called Altha, A-L-T-H-A, Florida, which is about 10 hours away if you include a 30-minute break, 10 to 10 and a half hours. So it's 3:15 and it delivers at noon tomorrow. So that's less than 21 hours away. But remember, we have to take a 10-hour break. So there goes 10 hours right there. Plus 10 hours of driving, you do the math. So basically this is going to be a clock management video of how we are able to pull this all off. But before we do all that, I have to back onto the scale that's behind me that we just passed. I never understood why they built truck scales so narrow. Everywhere you go, every shipper, every receiver, the scales that the truck drives on are the exact width of a truck and trailer plus like a couple of inches on each side. And I'm like, is the cost of materials that high where you couldn't have just added a foot on each side or something like that? But it requires having your head on a swivel, like mine is right now. Left, right, left, right. Yeah, I think I got it. No pull-ups. I'm completely on the scale. All right, that worked. So let me give you all an update. I went on duty at about 1:30 p.m. I left the shipper at about 3:30 p.m. I just drove for about 4.5 hours, something like that. It's 8 o'clock p.m. right now. I'm gonna go on sleeper berth for 2 hours. Then I'll start driving again at 10 p.m. And then 5 hours later is when I get to a truck stop that's 20 minutes from my destination. Okay, so it'll be 3 a.m. at that point. That's when I'll go on sleeper berth again for another 8 hours, and I'm gonna do the 8-2 split sleeper berth thing. So at the end of 8 hours at 11 a.m., I'll get time added back to my clock. I don't know how much, because I don't know how that works. And then I'm 20 minutes away from my delivery. That's a 12 o'clock noon delivery. So everything is working out just right, and it's all because I had no delays at the shipper. After all that, I made it to my delivery on time, and here's the setup. We're delivering transformer oil to a new transformer, electrical transformer. So it comes out the back of my trailer and goes into the customer's trailer. They have a pump and probably a filter. So they're pumping it off. And then it comes from the outgoing line of their pump. You see their hoses go into the new transformer. They're building a solar panel field out here, and I guess it's going to generate enough power that they need these big transformers. So that's the delivery, nice and easy, and that's it. So now we're going to talk about my last delivery, the one I was stuck on for 10 days, and what I did that whole time. After 10 days of delays, I'm finally offloading this product I brought out here to California. If y'all saw my last video, you know what I'm talking about. I got the Pacific Ocean behind me. It feels good after 10 days. Look, it's been a little vacation. In today's video, we're gonna show you a little bit of what I did to kill 10 days in Lompoc, California, or Lompoc as the locals call it. So we're getting offloaded right now. Check out the inside of the tank. So I should be out of here in, say, 40 minutes. What do you do with 10 days off in California? You cook and you go to the beach. Let's start with the cooking. This hotel had a propane gas grill that wasn't in the best shape, and I could not control those flames, but I did the best I could. So we had ribeyes and mashed potatoes on the first night. Then I went and got some chicken breasts and chicken thighs. I marinated them in my hotel room in the refrigerator all day. And you see I got sauce on some, but not others. Some people want to just taste the marinade and they don't want to have you kill it with sauce, so I left some of them unsauced. And yeah, those flames were just, it was a little annoying, but like I said, you work with what you got, and I'm glad we had this. So as a side dish, we had this restaurant in New Orleans called Zia, and their famous side dish is called corn grits, which is grits, but you cook it in heavy cream and stock, and you saute some onions and some garlic, and you roast corn, and you put the roasted corn kernels in there. Really, you should top it with some chopped green onion, but look, we're cooking at a hotel, so let's not get too fancy. Since we had grits, another night I said, let's do shrimp and grits, which is, you can see shrimp and andouille sausage with those same creamy grits and a brown sauce. We also did some corn and some toasted bread. And I didn't mind just spending hours prepping food, chopping, which, by the way, you see how my surface there is bouncing. It's very hard to chop and dice when your surface ain't flat, but that's all I had, the side of the grill. You just make do with what you have, I guess, and you'll do anything just to kill time. And so I enjoyed just prepping all the food. I even made my own homemade seafood stock, which is what you need to make the sauce for the shrimp and grits. You make your sauce, you make your little roux in the pot, and you slowly add the sauce and stir it, and it gets real thick. It turned out real good. All the guys seem to really like it. So let's move on to the beach. Something about being on the beach is good for the soul, man. Take your shoes off and put your feet in the Pacific Ocean. Just hear the waves crashing on the shore and smell that air. I don't know. It's everything that you think it might be and more. But you can't go to the beach every day. So like I said, you're looking for stuff to do to kill time, and you'll start doing mundane stuff like, I don't know, let's go do laundry. That'll take a couple of hours. Or let's go walk downtown. That'll kill some time. Let's go to the beach one day. Or maybe, I don't know, just making groceries to cook. They had an Albertsons and a Walmart nearby. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go make groceries and then we'll come back and cook. Anything that you can find to just kill time, because 10 days is a long time, like a really long time to be cooped up in a hotel room. So we obviously made the most of it. All right, so that's it for this part of the video. Most of y'all don't stick around for story time. So if you're leaving me here, I want to thank you for watching so far or up to this point, and I hope to catch you on the next one. And if you are sticking around for story time, well, you know how it goes. Let's do story time. Story time's going to be a little different today. Now, normally when you tune in, you're used to getting my whimsical, meandering flights of storytelling prose about my irreverent, inane, awkward, or otherwise absurd encounters with people out there, but that's not going to be today. You can tell my voice is a little different. I had to wipe tears out of my eyes. I have a challenge for y'all, and it's a challenge that I got about 5 years ago. My friend Todd called me up and he goes, "You ever heard that song Teddy Bear?" No. He said it's an old country song from the 60s. Another driver told me to listen to it and see if I could listen to it without crying. Now, Todd's not the warm and fuzzy type. He's what people would call abrasive, but he said he was bawling his eyes out, crying while he's driving from this song Teddy Bear. I said, "Man, it can't be that bad." He goes, "Trust me, just listen to it. I challenge you to listen to it without crying." I said, "No problem." He said, "One word of advice though, make sure you're not in a public place because you will be crying." I said, "Get out of here, man." He said, "Just make sure you choose your location carefully. Trust me." It's sort of like if you go and eat Indian food, you want to make sure that there's a bathroom real close by, right? So I queued up the song and played it. Sure enough, within a minute, I was crying. And by the end of the song, I was bawling my eyes out crying, just like I was just doing a few minutes ago. And maybe you're intrigued, so you can go look up Teddy Bear by Red Sovine, S-O-V-I-N-E. But I'll just say it's about a crippled boy who lost. It's about a crippled boy who lost his dad, who was a truck driver. Woo! I'm not gonna say anything else. Not because I don't want to ruin it for you, but I can't even talk about it without crying. And it got me thinking about country songs from that era, let's say the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They're just known for being sad in ways that rock songs, jazz songs, rap songs, pop songs aren't. And I was listening to a podcast on it, and I think the podcaster Malcolm Gladwell was right, that it's the specificity of the lyrics that make these songs so sad. There's a certain, the way that rock lyrics are written is they're very vague, and they like to use a lot of metaphors. And so you get, like, the Red Hot Chili Peppers wrote Under the Bridge, and it's a song that's about addiction, right? I think heroin addiction. But he never mentions drugs or being addicted. Sounds like it's about Los Angeles. The Eagles have that song Hotel California that ostensibly is about addiction, but we don't know for sure. But instead of thinking about it as addiction, every lyric you read, think about it from the viewpoint of the guy is talking about the trappings of fame or the life that comes along with being celebrity. And every line of the song blends perfectly with that, because the song is about a guy checking into a hotel room, not Teddy Bear. I'll give you another country song from that era. There's this country singer named George Jones, and his most famous song is He Stopped Loving Her Today. There's a couplet in the song that says, he keeps letters by his bed dated 1962, and underlined in red is every I love you. You can just picture that guy, heartbroken, reading old love letters from his ex, crying. He's got every I love you underlined, and not just underlined in red because it's that specific, right? Now you might say, well, Jay, he just picked the color red because he needed to rhyme it with bed. I'm not so sure the guy didn't write the underlined in red line first and then rhyme bed with it, because that's just the perfect line, because you can picture it in red, right? And I will spoil this song if you haven't heard it. And He Stopped Loving Her Today, the narrator, George Jones, says he goes to visit his friend, goes to see his friend who's all dressed up. He's going to go out, and he says it's the first time in years that he's seen his friend smile. And then you find out that George is at his... You're a little choked up there. I'm sorry. Then you find out that George is at his friend's funeral. Like, wow. That is brutal, man. Because that's what it is about the country music from that era. They'll talk about a dead guy at his funeral. Emerson, Lake and Palmer's got a song called Lucky Man, where the guy dies at the end. But it's just this clearly fictitious character of he's a soldier and he had white horses. It's just so, I mean, it's poetic, but you don't cry when that guy dies. But George Jones's guy, yeah, man, that's sad. But I do challenge y'all to listen to Teddy Bear, He Stopped Loving Her Today, if you haven't heard it, and then go check out some of those other songs I mentioned, Hotel California, Lucky Man, or Under the Bridge, and you'll see a vast difference in the way lyrics were written between the two genres and those two eras. And it's not that I don't like rock or whatever, it's just, man, they don't have a way to like tug at your heartstrings like those old country songs do, man. All right, that's story time today. Definitely very different from what you're normally used to. I apologize if y'all hated it and got to see my softer side. For any of you who've been on the receiving end of some of my cruelty, you probably don't even think that I could possibly have a soft side, but I do. It just doesn't come out very often. I have to listen to Teddy Bear, I guess. All right, so next week I'm going to try to come back with a story time that's the most manly, masculine story I can think of to make up for this, which was more than slightly embarrassing, but hopefully y'all forgive me. All right, so come back next week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. And until the next one, this is Jason, signing out.